What kind of town would you think I lived in if I told you when somebody tried to enter our town from the outside, me and my buddies got together and stole their property, and after we stole their property, the local news reported on it as a good thing that me and my buddies, stole the property of people who were coming into the town? Let's explore that concept and let's question everything that we've been taught. This is a very short, simple video to convey a very basic concept. We were all taught when we were kids, don't take things that don't belong to you. If it's not yours, you don't take it. In other words, don't steal. Very, very basic. And it doesn't matter what your justification is. Maybe you want to steal somebody's money so that you can give your mom flowers for Mother's Day. Maybe you want to take somebody's purse so you can feed the poor. It doesn't matter what your justification is. The action of stealing is theft, of course. And when you do that to someone else, knowing that you would not want that done to you, you've actually violated the golden rule. Do to others what you would want done to you, or do not do to others what you wouldn't want done to you. So you've actually done that which is immoral. And if you advocate that someone else steal something for another so-called good purpose, you're still advocating for theft. It doesn't matter what the person calls themselves. It doesn't matter what title precedes their name. If they steal something, if they take something from someone else that doesn't belong to them, they have committed the immoral action of theft. And it doesn't matter if that person who's doing the stealing is calling himself or herself government. Very basic concept. We all know this. And we also know that anybody who advocates theft, even though they don't steal themselves, but they advocate others doing it, we know the person who's advocating that immoral action is immoral themselves. We all just inherently know this. But somehow, when you add into the mix the idea of government stealing something, government taking property from someone else, all of a sudden it changes for some reason, even though the immoral action is the same. Which brings us to this article right here. Tons of pot found in truck full of jalapeno peppers in California, Border Patrol says. And this comes straight from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection website, but this is summarized in this article. A U.S. Customs and Border Protection dog picked up on something strange Thursday night in a tractor-trailer shipment of jalapeno peppers at a San Diego crossing, the agency says in a release. Agents at the Otay Mesa cargo facility inspecting the truck discovered 4 tons of marijuana hidden inside the shipment of peppers, the agency reported. Okay, so we have 4 tons of marijuana who belongs to this individual or the organization this individual represents, including, the shipment of jalapenos. So you have a shipment of jalapenos and 4 tons of marijuana that they're trying to hide inside the jalapenos. So it's their property. Officers seized 314 wrap packages of pot, or 7,560 pounds of marijuana, valued at $2.3 million, according to the agency. And Mark Morgan, acting Customs and Border Protection Commissioner, said on Twitter, very proud of our CBP officers in Otay Mesa. Very proud. We applaud you. Good job, guys, for stealing somebody else's property. This is wonderful. Morgan wrote, last night they seized 7,560 pounds of marijuana and a shipment of jalapeno peppers. And on Tuesday, they seized another 10,642 pounds of marijuana and a shipment of plastic auto parts. Well done. On Tuesday, the Coast Guard recovered 43 bales of marijuana found floating in the Pacific Ocean near Santa Catalina Island by a boater. So let's get back to this shipment of marijuana inside the jalapeno peppers. There's 3 things that benefits the state, and that's why they make laws. There's 3 main objectives in creating laws. Specifically, we're going to talk about anti-marijuana or anti-drug laws, or this crazy thing called the drug war or the war on drugs. And it's really not a war on drugs, guys. It's like gun control. It's a euphemism. It's a euphemism to mask what's really going on. Gun control is not really gun control. It's people control. They're trying to control people. Same with the drug war, the war on drugs. It's not a war on drugs. You're not going to grab this 7,560 pounds of marijuana and throw it into a cage. Who you are going to throw into the cage is the person who is possessing this plant that the government said you couldn't have. So we have this applauding of an immoral action, the immoral action known as theft. We all know theft is wrong. It's wrong under every and any situation. And when you add to the mix, oh, you have credentials, you're from the government. Oh, okay. It's okay for you to steal. Wait a second. Agents of government are still human beings. So are we going to say that if you declare yourself to be an agent of government, theft is all of a sudden right? No. That would be completely immoral. Anybody who advocates for the theft of anything by any person, even if that person declares themselves to be a government agent, is still an immoral action. Therefore, the person who's condoning such an action is condoning clear immorality. Clear immorality, guys. So there's three main objectives for laws. Number one, it transfers power. It transfers power from the people to the government, because when you create laws, you take away rights. When you take away rights, you weaken the people, you make them powerless, and you make the government more powerful. Number two, the creation of laws generates revenue for the state. Now the government owns 7,560 pounds of marijuana. And don't think they're just going to go out there and burn it. They may. But that would be burning a very valuable resource. Guys, cannabis is just flat out a miracle plant that really, really changes lives. I just pulled up this article right here. I just did a real quick search. Cannabis is a miracle plant with the ability to change lives. And it does, guys. It takes away pain. It helps with PTSDs. I've seen people dramatically helped with CBD THC oil recover from 10-year, 20-year bouts of Lyme disease. I've seen them miraculously cured of all kinds of illnesses. So what we have here is, in this situation, let's just stay with the scope of this situation right here. This marijuana, this life-saving plant, this plant that can help the lives of so many people, was confiscated by government agents. And we're supposed to applaud that theft? We're supposed to applaud that immorality? I don't think so. We need to start looking at articles like this and take them for what they really are. This is nothing more and nothing less than the applause for immorality. Clapping our hands and saying, well done, like this guy says, like Morgan says, well done. It's a job well done when you commit acts of theft and aggression like this, when you take private property from people. Look, you own property and I own property. I have no claim over your life or property, and you have no claim over my life or property. For me to take your property would be theft. For any other human being to take your property, I don't care what that property is. For somebody to come in and take your property, it's theft. And for what CBP did here, Customs and Border Protection, what they did here was theft. We need to call these things like they are, or we are an immoral society. So that brings me back to the original question. I'll get to my third point of what the third thing that laws do. My original question at the very beginning of this video, what would you think of me? What would you think of my town if me and my buddies got together and we stole somebody else's property and then the news reported it as something that we should applaud? What would you think of my town? You would think that that town was utterly immoral, that me and my buddies not only stole things from other people that didn't belong to us, but it was put on the news as something that was positive, something that all the kids in the neighborhood should do. Hey, when you grow up, be like these guys. Take property that doesn't belong to you. Here are the people that we look up to. That would be an immoral town. That's an utterly immoral society. And anybody who applauds U.S. Customs and Border Protection taking property that doesn't belong to them is taking their hat off and bowing down toward immoral actions of immoral people who are doing immoral things. Now, the third thing that the law does, number one, it takes power and transfers power from the people to the government. Number two, it increases revenue. It increases the coffers of the state, so that the state can be even more powerful and wealthy. And number three, laws make innocent people criminals. Not real criminals, but criminals in the eyes of the state. Criminals who get punished when they've done absolutely nothing wrong, when they have not committed a crime. Remember, a real crime leaves a real victim. If you have no victim, you have no crime. So we're actually living in fantasy world. Actually, you know what? There's a fourth thing that laws do. Laws eliminate competition for the government. I don't know if you know this, but the government is in the drug protection and distribution business. That's what they're doing here, and that's what they're doing here with the poppy fields. We guard the poppy fields. Now, you know, people are saying, well, we have an opium crisis. We have an opium epidemic. Well, guess who's protecting the opium industry? The United States military. The military industrial complex is protecting the poppy fields, specifically right here, the poppy fields of Afghanistan. 90% of the world's opium comes from the fields that we're guarding, that our U.S. soldiers are guarding. We're very much in the drug industry. I like what somebody said one time. The only way pot can kill you is if it falls out of a CIA plane. If a bundle of it falls out of a CIA plane and lands on your head, that's the only way pot can kill you. The CIA is a drug running operation. That's how they keep the dollar afloat. That's one of two major ways they keep the dollar afloat. The first way is through the petrodollar, and the petrodollar Ponzi scheme, and the second is through the narco dollar, through narcotics. Laws eliminate competition for the government, and they criminalize those who go against those so-called drug laws. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the Google Thought Police in the comment section below. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video. If you guys enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, and share it with everybody you know. Also, check out over 100 hard-hitting designs in the shirt store, and if you want to support more content, hit me up on Patreon or PayPal. All those links will be in the description and in the pinned comment. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.